Welcome to the show.
Malfunction, Professor?
Yes. Anyway, enough of that. You know the drill. If you have any questions other than what you should have for breakfast...
Can you move so I can...
Yes,
see.
That's better. If you have any other questions other than what you should have for breakfast, perhaps, then what you do is you write a big capital Q, and you follow that with a colon, and then you type your question out, and then you suffix all of that with a question mark. Pretty straightforward, really. That helps Ted to find it, because Ted is otherwise engaged at the moment, aren't you, Ted? Good boy, he's twiddling the knobs, aren't you, Ted?
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Well, you know how it goes. We need to fill in a few minutes while the questions come rolling in.
Why is the camera so skewed? I'm sitting half outside.
I tell you what, if you really want me to fix it, I can. In very few short seconds, if you let me have the controlling device, I'll click that there.
That's enough, otherwise you're going to be outside.
I'll be an outside, no house motherfucker. Right, all yours.
Oh, thank you.
You have the power.
Maybe unclick that.
Fine. You're in control. You have the controls.
Very, very nice. Very, very good.
Yes.
So.
You're watching what Vicky's doing out the window? Yes,
yeah.
Good. That's
Just
more important than
around.
these people here asking questions.
Well, she could make you a real last no house motherfucker
She
if
really
you wanted
could,
to.
if she wanted to. Yes.
So she's...
Vicky is the landlord here, and you don't upset Vicky because you usually end up on someone's plate when you do that. We had two goats here, not anymore. Now we have one. Don't we, Vicky? She can't hear us right now, of course, but maybe she'll watch later and laugh. Laugh, she will.
She said she was going to send him away to become salami.
Yes.
If he didn't stop jumping the fences, and he didn't stop jumping the fences.
As billy goats tend to be of a want, don't they? So there's a whole bunch of bigots up in the house, which is good to see. Not too many questions, as far as I can tell. So, that being the case, what we can do is cover that question about what it is you should have for your breakfast
for goodness
at this stage of the show, and then it's done, isn't it? And we can forget all about it. Here's the answer. Steak and eggs and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for your breakfast. Delicious. Eggs and steak and eggs. Just making sure you heard. She got it. Oh, sorry, knee. Right.
That's not a knee.
Oh, no, that's the armrest of it. There you go. You were protected by the armour of Cagnazax.
Yeah, I do have my armour.
Yes.
My armoured chair. But there's a question here that is beautifully spelled out with a big capital Q.
Love it.
The way that you should be doing it.
Indeed.
Otherwise I might not see it. And you might be reprimanded.
Right. Reprimanded.
And today it's big on the screen again. I like it, so I can read it.
I fixed it for you.
Very good. So, you've said that milk doesn't need to be raw. We know milk has a bunch of carbs, even lactose-free, which usually is just added lactase. Take on raw versus pasteurized and homogenized milk.
Right. Number one, the exact dietary requirement for milk of any kind in the human diet is none. You will not develop a milk deficiency if you don't drink milk. About 60-something% of the population have a problem with milk in terms of reacting to it in a way that's not conducive to goodness. 1/3 of people apparently roughly don't, and that's fine. When I say it doesn't need to be raw, that means it doesn't need to be raw. You can drink it raw if you want to. That's your thing. Others prefer the pasteurized version. In some countries, you're not even allowed to have raw for some ridiculous reason. Have it raw or have it pasteurized. It's really just some protein and some sugar, as you say, and a few other bits and bobs. There's nothing, hugely exciting. Gee, that's not a very good effort there, Professor Snoozy, was it?
Not a good effort.
That was not a good effort from the Snoozy at jumping up, all in one, gracefully and stuff. Yeah. So either have milk or don't have milk. And if you're going to have milk, have it raw or have it pasteurized. Many people swear by it must be raw, it must be raw. No, it mustn't necessarily. Some people say it only works for me if it's raw. Well, fine. If it works for you in a certain way, don't fix it, is what I'm saying. I hope that all makes sense.
It does.
Thank you for the question.
Yes, we have a little super chat from Dr. Abs here.
Abs is up in the house.
Any opinion on sauna called Hormetic stress for cardiovascular health improvement? Thanks.
Not really, Abs. I think that's one of those things where the jury is most decidedly out on the basis that doing long-term, properly observed, properly controlled, scientifically disciplined studies on this is going to be very, very difficult. So anything that you get, if it is remotely well observed and controlled, is going to be very short-term, and it's probably going to be underpowered statistically. I'm of the mind that if people are doing things in their life that they think is contributing to their life being full of goodness, then that's not something I'd fix. But I also, like, I have this mantra, this 5-part mantra. Let's do the thing.
For goodness sake.
Oh, you've got 2 hands busy on the dog. Because you're not allowed to take a hand off the dog. She won't have that.
See? She's looking at it. She's like, where's the hand?
Yes, where's the hand? Put that back, human. Goodness. Don't you know she's the queen? She can do what she likes. She can do the royal wave. Yeah, so you can do that if you want. I have a 5-part mantra I use, which are my most 5 important things I think a person should do to reduce chronic, systemic, inflammatory overburden, and thus reduce all its sequelae by miraculous amounts. I'm the science, trust me, I'm safe and effective. And hot, cold, hormetic, red light, all of that stuff is below number 5 on my list, and the 5 on my list I think take out about 95% of the problem. So there's the full disclosure statement.
So what about cold thermogenesis to exercise the blood vessels?
Yes, that's a valid argument, and if somebody's using that and they find that it's working for them in a way that's positive for them, I'm absolutely chuffed to the gunnels. I couldn't be more pleased for you.
Chuffed to the gunnels?
Chuffed to the gunnels, I am.
I see.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for the super chat, Abs, and we'll see you soon for a collaborative work. It's going to be great. We're going to do an interview about, well, whatever he wants to talk about, really.
Even if it's gummy bears.
Well, fine. Okay. Tell you what, though, if he wants to talk about bears, I know just the bloke for the job.
He's not gummy, though.
Ted, that's really not a great effort on the camouflage training, is it?
Same as usual.
I think he can do better.
You
Indeed.
have to stop wearing fucking yellow all the time.
Well, I'm trying to help the boy. I'm trying to help him.
Doesn't help.
You know, I know. Whatever you do for Ted, he always wants more. More appearance fee, he says.
What's the dog's name? Her name is Amy. Or Snoozy.
Or Professor Snooze. Or...
High five.
Or... Amy, for fuck's sake, where are your ears?
High five.
That's the other thing she gets called sometimes. So she actually probably genuinely thinks her name is Amy for fuck's sake.
I don't say that very often.
Yes, you do.
I should do, maybe.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you said yes, you do.
Yes, you do is what I said, yes. As in, right, what's next? Questions, love it.
Super chat.
Yay.
I have a family member who is carnivore but is a very heavy drinker. Can you explain?
Sorry, we shouldn't joke. It's not funny. Yes, carry on.
Can you explain the long-term cumulative effect this will have on him, as I would like to have a discussion about it with him?
Right, well, it's going to cause, depending on the makeup of the alcoholic beverage, it's going to potentially lead to a higher propensity for a number of sequelae, secondary things like androgyny, dad bod, central adiposity, alcoholic fatty liver disease, cirrhosis and early death, as well as being, I know, because I've had, at periods I've had my issues with alcohol, and when you're drinking heavily, it doesn't make you the most delightful person in the universe to anybody else. There's that too. So, you know, maybe a person that doesn't realise that maybe needs to. I don't know. It's a tough one.
But you don't realise it sometimes.
Well, they do say that I don't listen to you.
Yes, this is true.
Good. What's next?
The landlords are fucking around.
They are. They're moving things and chucking shit around and whatever.
So
Joel's still alive, though. He hasn't ended up on a plate. That's good.
That's lucky.
You better watch himself, though. Hey, Vicky.
So question.
Yep.
How is it going? But in Norwegian.
It's going okay. We couldn't complain about how things are going here. Things are going well. Things are progressing, just not as fast as we'd want them to, of course, on various issues. But that's the human condition, I think, is to be always searching out a higher level of goodness. We're leveling up. That's what we're doing at some point soon, hopefully.
Yay.
Yay for us and stuff.
We shall manifest it.
Yes. Ooh, coffee.
Don't manifest the coffee.
I've just manifested some coffee.
You should manifest yellow houses and green fields.
Mm.
Is it yellow?
That was a perfect time.
So
if I had had the invisible penis to hand, that was a perfect time to use it. Right, carry on.
Do you think that house would get Ted's approval for camouflage training?
Probably. Yes.
Right, Colette.
Yes.
Right, when are you going on Joe Rogan?
When he asks me.
When he asks you.
When he asks me, which will be never, I would imagine.
Is he? Yes. What can raise triglycerides on the lion diet? Strict lion, no exceptions. LDL went down.
Yes. If someone is consuming vastly more protein than their body requires, then we get de novo lipogenesis is what we get. That's a big word, isn't it?
De novo lipogenesis.
De novo lipogenesis is what occurs. That's how it can happen. One way. Another way would be some kind of inflammatory process underpinned by some other etiology, which could tip the metabolism in that direction.
But you would have higher triglycerides, let's say, if you are losing a lot of fat, because you're releasing fat from your fat cells. So that will also raise your triglycerides. So how much are we talking about here?
Yes, release the hounds. I mean, the trigs. Release those.
Release the trigs.
Excellent. All sorts of other ideas, perhaps. Give us a bit more context, if you can, Roxana.
Yes, more super chats.
Yay.
When you taught professionals in the UK, how many had heard of the Randle cycle? I mentioned it when I spoke at Royal College on hundreds of virgin ears.
Yes. I can't remember a single student ever commenting to me that they had heard of it before. It simply isn't on the curriculum in most academics' courses. It certainly isn't on the radar of most academics. Most academics have never heard of the thing, let alone the lay public. It's also a thing. I'm going to do another Randle cycle related update video this week, and it's really important and topical this week because Ben Bikman did a video about it. And Ben's video was fine until it wasn't anymore. Stay tuned for that. Also, the other thing I realise about the Randle cycle is the more I study the thing, the more I understand that my level of appreciation of how the thing works and its intricacies, even being about the only guy that was talking about it for a while until others picked up on it. There's more to learn. There's always more to learn every time you look at it in a different way, is what I'm saying. And I shall be updating everyone on a bunch of things which will hopefully make the thing vastly more clear to people as to what it is and why it is, I think.
Very good. And she says, yes, I'm in active weight loss.
There you go. That's going to raise your trigs. And awesome. Long may it continue.
Right. More super chats. Comment. I don't care for pasteurized milk. Though.
Pasteurized milk.
Just below the shoulders works for me.
Very good. Very good. Fully laden swallow. Yes.
Fucking hell.
I hope they do.
Now the chat is stuck.
Yeah, I think that's actually a mouse issue. I've been trying with 3 different mouses this morning.
Really?
And they're all like sluggish as fuck. Either that or the computer's having
But it works when
issue.
I'm clicking.
Yeah, but not right click. It doesn't work. You have to really smash it. Anyway, carry on.
Yes, I'm trying to carry back.
Welcome to Amateur Hour, where the kit doesn't work and neither does anyone else.
Someone told Patricia to use a capital Q or I will miss the question. And I had missed the question, so now I found it. So someone helped you. But next time, use a Q.
Petricious.
Says, can you get high blood pressure on a carnivore diet?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. There are many ways that you can get high blood pressure. Coffee is...
That's not carnivore, though.
It's not, but many people who are carnivore will still take in up to 30% plant-based material. Because 70%, well, I don't know, 70% is the agreed upon threshold for a hyper carnivore. It's 70% animal products and above. show,
So isn't it interesting? You can be carnivore, drink coffee, drink alcohol, and still say, I'm a carnivore. But if you eat blueberries, you're not carnivore
and you're
anymore.
carbon. How dare you?
Because fiber.
Because fiber, yeah.
Yes.
It is interesting how people will think
so
about
fuck you, I'm
things.
carnivore too.
Fair play.
Although I haven't had blueberries for I don't even know how long now.
Mm.
I need to eat more blueberries, clearly.
Mm.
Jim, I haven't seen you forever, Jim. Just to say hi. Well, hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim. Also, there are many, many other ways to cause hypertension, by the way, which can occur to people who are eating a carnivore diet if they do other things in their life wrong. Stress will do it. Distress will do it.
Fix your beard.
Isometric exercise will do it, at least, short term, while that's occurring.
Trace is cheating. Question. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's not a question, Tracy, but
good
morning to you too.
Good to see you, Trace. How's the fuckery over there in your part of the world? Have people got their minds back, or
did they ever have them?
Yeah.
Right. By practicing weighted calisthenics for 8 years, I have become strong, but my appearance hasn't changed much. I exercise hypertrophy 5 max sets. I eat 2 grams of protein per kilo. Low testosterone.
Oh God, it could be all sorts of things. Could be all sorts of things. 5 max sets. 5 rep max sets for hypertrophy. You probably want to be doing 8 rep max sets for hypertrophy. 2 working sets. Big compounds. Don't worry about the isolation stuff. Don't have body splits. Do your whole body head to toe in 12 or 13 exercises using big compounds. Do that 3 or 4 times a week. You should be in and out of the gym within an hour, and that includes your shower. Is your energy intake in the form of fat? Do you have enough fat in your diet? Don't know. There's all sorts of things that could play into that. Also, maybe you're a person whose genetics doesn't predispose them to blowing up like Arnold straight away the first time you look at a weight or something.
More super chats.
Good.
My niece was diagnosed with IgA nephropathy. Docs advised avoid meat and salt, trying to carnivore. What would you general advise?
I wouldn't be giving medical advice in the case of special populations of people who suffer certain conditions about which I am not personally absolutely expert. I would find the salt and meat advice to be, I guess, comprehensible, at least understanding the framework from which the allopathic medicinal community works from. And the thing is, once the organ is already not functioning well, then it's not as able to deal with things like protein and salt and whatever else that it normally does easily. And so the medical community will say, well, avoid eating those things. Avoid taking those things in because your kidneys can't handle it. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that that condition is completely reversible if you do the right things, according to what I think the right things are, because I've seen it happen. That's not medical advice. That's not any kind of promise to anyone in particular. I'm just saying I have seen that condition completely reversed. So if you want to consult, the consultancy link is underneath the video in the show notes. It's the one that goes bit.ly/Bart-KAY. From there you can access consults, you can buy merchandise, including this fine mug. They also come in right-handed versions, so that, whatever. T-shirts and things are there as well. You can also join the Patreon as a subscriber that just kind of like a $10 almost donation. There's a video course there that you can access to watch if you want to, as service in kind for the $10, if you like. What else can you do there? You can buy the fine product range from Cerule, the address for which is also above my left shoulder as we speak. However, this week, we're promoting people to go and sign up with and buy product from Her Majesty Pim, Queen of Pirates, whose Cerule address is smartdiabetics.cerule, as spelt above my shoulder there, .com. And we're also promoting Nin Daniel, who is a Cerulean in her own right and a practitioner of natural medicine over there in Melbourneshire. And we're also supporting her this week to get to her goal for the month, because she's close. And long may that sort of thing continue. And her address is also underneath this video in the show notes that you can go and get Cerule from her from if you'd like to help, or if you'd like to actually get some Cerule products, because they're really good. Yes. Endorsed fully by Ted and myself.
Very good.
Yes. That's the promotions taken care of for the week. What's next?
Yes, we have a very offensive super chat. More singing. I am only here for the singing.
Okay.
Fuck.
Pim is here. We are going to sing anyway.
That was shithouse singing, to be fair.
Well,
pay the super chat.
You get what you pay
what
for.
you get.
You get what you pay for. €5. What do you want for €5?
You sing more without getting paid.
Okay.
So pay
The
more.
hills are alive with the stars. That's why I'm not allowed to sing, you see. No projection.
Yes.
No singing.
Another super chat. I feel it's worth making different types of insulin for T1 so carnivores can have a different pharmacokinetic profile to SAD patients. Am I being stupid?
No, I don't think so.
Isn't that exactly
I
what
could put you in touch.
Ryan's doing?
Exactly, Ryan. Exactly. I could put you in touch, Dr. Abs, with Dr. Ryan Attar in the States, who is a type 1 diabetic who does use different forms of insulin to keep himself where he ought to be. His A1C runs at 4.8 as a type 1 diabetic, and he uses a slow release, higher peak version. And if he needs it, he's got a shorter stuff. But he never needs it because he doesn't pour carbohydrates down his neck, because he's a sensible soldier.
For you, sensible.
Yes. Captain Dr. Ryan Attar, formerly of the US Defence Forces and now of the Meat Militia, and also doing his own thing. Literally. Can't do a thing with him. Every time I say to him, Attar, I did not see you at the camouflage training, he says anything other than, sir, thank you, sir, which was the correct answer. Isn't it, Attar? Do it right next time. Otherwise, I'm going to send Ted, and he will bring that wetsuit and that bucket of frogs.
Claire Ramsdale is my hero.
Good.
She says, I hate the singing too, but at least it's not Invisible Penis. That was dreadful.
It was the best song ever. What are you talking about? You heathen. You oik.
Oh dear. Thanks, Claire. Right, question. What is your view on creatine supplementation on the carnivore diet? Does it make a difference in brain function and muscle performance enough for better muscle growth? Do we get enough from meat?
Creatine supplementation is perhaps the most researched supplement going around. And after all of that, the answer is completely equivocal in terms of its benefit for various purposes under various circumstances and in various contextualized situations. I couldn't answer the question about brain function, really, at all. In terms of muscle performance, I can't even speak. It depends what kind of muscle function you are referring to. In terms of muscle growth, well, creatine supplementation will cause muscles to at least appear bulkier, more, swole, because they literally are. Creatine supplementation causes retention of water in the muscle cells, thus plumping them up and making them look like big, strong muscles. But actually, they're just plumped up muscles that aren't much stronger than they were before you plump them up, mostly, it seems. You do you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bart Pym, what do you feed your dogs? Shall I answer that?
Yes, you should, because you do the feeding.
Yes.
Around here.
Well, you could sing it. No, singing.
Oh.
Mostly meat, bones, some organs, and eggs sometimes.
Meat and bones and organs and eggs. No singing.
It's the 80-20 prey model, which is also raw, obviously. 80% meat, 10% bone, 10% organs, roughly. I don't measure.
And another 100% shit, dead animals, whatever else they can find on the walk, grass,
Sandwiches.
Yeah.
Old deep fryer fat if they can find it.
Yes.
She's done that before.
Fuck's sake.
Jesus.
Yes. Right. Good.
That was in the UK though. I have a throat and I have nothing to drink. How heavily do genetics influence change in muscle fiber type?
Very.
Very.
Yeah.
When are you and Dr. Abs doing a show together to take on the world?
It's in the calendar. I think it's in the next week or so. It's happening. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm having constipation from eating chicken and beef. I've added fats like butter, but it's only helped a little. Other times I've had diarrhea from eating too much fat. Any thoughts, please? Thank you.
So how do you know you had constipation? What were the signs and symptomologies of constipation that you were experiencing? And was that quite distinct from just not going? What colour was it when it came out? All those kind of things I'd ask you face to face in a private one-on-one discussion behind the scenes, which is what it sounds like you need. The link for Consultations is below the video in the show notes. And we can talk about your poos in private. How's that? Oh, kids in the way. Come on. Oh, Professor Fluffy's here to save the show. You're going to be the star of the show today, aren't you? Hey, oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, du så tas du hundivaden.
Are we done with the madness now? Just received my grounding mat today. Should I start out slow with using it, or can I use it most of the day and at bedtime? Also, should limit a few hours per day to start.
No, as much grounding as you can possibly achieve in your life as immediately as you can do so is good. Get into it.
Yes.
There is.
Should more healthy carnivores donate blood?
Perhaps. At some point, there may also be, a premium, a marketplace for pure blood.
Pure bloods.
Yes.
I am a pure blood.
Yes.
Okay. Hey Bart, did you see that seed oils versus ghee RCT?
Yeah.
That's been paraded around by the vegans.
I haven't read the thing carefully yet, but I would suspect that I would find 700 problems with it within as many seconds. It's rubbish. Without even reading it, I can tell you it's rubbish, and then when I read it, I'll be able to confirmation bias establish and show anyone that wants to see that it's rubbish. Maybe I'll do a video on it, who knows.
Right. Can Dr. Arlo receive another spanking by yours truly? He made a recent post attempting to explain relative and absolute risk.
Arlo is a turd.
What are you
Arlo is
pushing?
an arrogant, ignorant turd. Arlo is excrement. The only appropriate activity with turds is to pull the chain and flush them. I've done that already with this particular turd.
But it's a floaty.
Well, perhaps he is a floaty turd, in which case the appropriate action is to poke it down with a stick and flush the bastard again. Is that what you're asking me to do? Maybe I will.
think so.
Maybe I will. Right. All right.
Poke it with a stick and
Yes.
flush again.
Yes.
Jesus.
Right.
Oh my God. I like the study where they measured cholesterol of people who presented with cardiac issues. What outcome would you predict if they measured deuterium?
Unknown. I would suspect those with a higher deuterium level chronically, area under the curve exposure over time, would be more likely to have dysfunction. And the reason I say that is because the deuterium itself has a known mechanism around making mitochondrial function less efficient, and that's never a good thing. Oh, Miss Wiggly, hey, would you like to say hello to the boys and girls? Would you? Ooh, she doesn't give a shit.
Nope. No. Did humans have amylase before agricultural revolution?
Yes, of course they did. Yep. We come from animals that originally evolved in trees, eating leaves and fruit and stuff. So yes, amylase has been around a long, long time. Yep.
I'm still having 2 caffeinated cups of coffee a day, but is your coffee caffeinated, and how many a day? Any other thoughts on caffeine?
Yes, it is caffeinated. Otherwise, what's the point? Goodness gracious.
You're just a druggie.
That's right. I'm a drug addict. It's a recreational drug. I've got my coffee down from about 12 a day to about 2 or 3, which has been good because, as we were referring to earlier with blood pressure, I found that knocking that coffee out reduced my blood pressure by 30 millimeters of mercury on both ends. It was incredible. Caffeine is a contraindicated alkaloid-based toxin and also a recreational drug. It's something that people choose to take in at some level, and some people choose not to as well. There's no place for it. You won't ever develop a coffee deficiency. Deficiency. It's a choice. And some people react less fully violently or negatively to coffee than others. Some people react violently and horribly if you don't give them coffee.
Is that you?
It can be. Don't stand between me and the coffee in the morning. Or any other time when I want coffee, which is usually in the morning. So
Not always, though.
No.
He has been known to make a cup of coffee and drink it in bed before going to sleep. Which I don't...
Many moons since I've done that.
Yeah, but it has happened.
Yes,
and
indeed.
I just do not understand the logic. Or there is no logic.
Logic?
Stop pushing me that way. Okay. I like milk. Is there some kind of milk that or drink that's healthy since it's coming from animal? I have a yogurt drink, half and half, and whipping cream, but it makes me fat over time.
That's because of the sugar, probably. There's a lot of sugar in milk.
And
it sounds like you like sugar.
For some people, dairy can be inflammatory as well.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Try kefir. Just
What is a new fan?
I've been having quite a bit of that recently, and it's been quite good.
So who had kefir in bed last night? Other than coffee? Same thing. Why?
Any other trade secrets you'd like to talk about at all? Eh?
That's why they're here.
Yes.
To know all your secrets.
All my secrets.
That's why I'm here, to tell them all the secrets.
All the secrets. That's how she keeps me under control. She's
sharing your secrets.
I'm going to share your secrets.
I share them. Ben Bikman is doing it wrong.
Yes, he did.
That dog is loving. Yes, she is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she's so cute.
Oh, yes.
She's like, what? Should we be concerned about smoke points when cooking?
Yes, you should.
Blah. Is a meal of 30 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat okay, or should I lower the protein more? I'm getting a bit confused on ratio.
Forget ratio, forget ratio, forget ratio, forget ratio. And once you've done that, forget ratio. Consume 2 grams of protein per kilo of lean body mass per day, preferably in one meal, and fill the rest of your diet to satiety in that same one meal with fat, that which was associated with the meat in the first place. And if you need additional, try butter, ghee, lard, tallow, or any of the other fine animal fats. Forget ratio.
Very good.
Good. What's next?
Comment from Master Chief Burgess.
Yes, Dave.
I watched that clip by Bikman. It started well, but then he started to say things that made me go, I wonder what Bart will have to say about that. Looks like we're going to find out.
Yes, you are. As I said earlier, Dave, Ben's video was fine until it wasn't. Suddenly. We'll deal with that during the week.
What is the real cause of gout? Is it 100% metabolic disease? And what are the most common reasons for high blood pressure besides hyperinsulinemia?
There's a lot of questions here. Without any super chats. Goodness gracious me.
Rude.
How rude. Right. The real cause of gout, in my estimation, is a combination of having the raw ingredients for gout on hand and also having a specific chronic inflammatory situation going on. Inflammation would seem to be very, very important. And there's also some, chemical situations that need to be in play before gout can physiochemically come into effect, because you can't crystallize things at various pHs and temperatures and things, and with various makeups of solution, that being the solution of the blood. Is it 100% metabolic disease? It is a disease process. I think it is underpinned by metabolic mistakes, but whether that makes it what you'd call a metabolic disease, not sure, probably not. What are the most common reasons for high blood pressure besides hyperinsulinemia? Okay, poor vascular tone, various drug and food-related components can do it. Stress, distress, anxiety can do it. Isometric exercise can do it. Failure of the baroreceptors in the body can cause the driving force to become too high, and thus the blood pressure to become too high.
Spin me back.
Various drugs which affect cardiac function can cause your blood pressure to move one way or the other. All sorts. That's all you get for free.
Very good.
Lovely.
Right. Question. There's a lot of places on Earth where beef's harder to find, or is it for people with a bunch of money while chicken and pork are in abundance and cheap? Are monogastrics fine to base one's diet on?
If you have to. Sure.
Yeah. I played soccer and got cramps. Is this something I can do? I have electrolytes, train legs with 8 rep max and sprints.
At what stage? After how long? Having been doing what? Which electrolytes? By what company? Containing what? What else is going on in your life and diet? And also, this really also sounds like
a consultancy
question. Yeah.
Oh,
very good.
Yes. How far out are your consults? Also, would you recommend entry into Cerule by being a customer for 3 to 6 months first, and then you can be an advocate based on your results, or jump right in? Thanks.
Okay, more than one question again. Goodness gracious
Yes.
me. Okay, how far out are your consults? Usually people can get in with me within 14 days. There's a slot.
Is it full?
Am I full at the moment? I'm reasonably towards the capacity of where I need to be, or can possibly be, in terms of consults, because I also need time to make videos and stuff.
Yes, I was just wondering if Patreon says it's full. Fuck off.
Oh, there are limits to who can join. So yes, the Patreon looks after that for me. Would you recommend entry into Cerule by being a customer for 3 to 6 months and then becoming an advocate? No, I wouldn't. I'm the science, trust me. Don't question the science. My anecdotes are 15 years long with this product. You can take it to the bank. It really is what it says it is. It really does what it says it does. Wasting 6 months without telling everyone you know that this stuff exists and where to get it from is only slowing them and you down by 6 months. Get into it. Become an IBO, which is an advocate. Do that today. Yeah.
Very good.
Jump right in, both feet. It's brilliant. It's a great business.
Auntie Patty
a great product.
has super chatted just because I love yous.
We loves yous too. How's Francois?
How is Francois?
Good question.
Yes. We want to know. And now
we want to know.
Question. How would you define being over-muscled? I hear you use the term occasionally.
Over-muscled for me would be defined as a person whose musculature is such that it starts to interfere with their ability to have normal range of motion and what we would look at as a muscled but normal looking human physiology. I mean, everybody knows the difference between someone who's got a healthy muscle mass on them. They are toned and, strong and functional, and the bodybuilder who is going for a completely different look, and form or function is in the real world is not the point anymore. Neither is health long term. It's really a kind of as polite as possible way of saying those of you who are hypertrophy athletes for the sake of being muscle builders, it's not smart. It really isn't. In terms of your long-term health. That's not to say I disrespect anybody that has chosen that path and has been successful in doing that, because I think it's an amazing achievement. It's just not one that I would personally go for. Having said that, when I was a much younger man, I absolutely did go for it a bit. So things changed throughout a lifespan as well. I have many friends who are hypertrophy athletes. You're all stupid, but I love you all and there's nothing you can do about it.
She says that Francois is pining for Ted as usual.
Oh, well, here's Ted. Here's Ted. Here's Ted. Here's Ted to save the day. No singing.
More super chats with love. I'll get on that love train. You guys are awesome.
We do our best. Thank you. We appreciate you. Stick around.
Stick around while I'm trying to sort this.
Yes, talk amongst yourselves. Welcome to Amateur Hour.
Did you hear Vicky?
Nope. What'd she say?
I think she shouted, "Shut up!" to the dogs barking.
You better, you dogs. You might end up on someone's plate.
Yeah.
Did you not see what happened to the goat?
Indeed. I think that's what she said anyhow.
Yes.
I'm trying to find a question.
Quictions, please. Quictions,
yes,
please.
Here we go. There's do you feed the dogs only muscle meat or do you give them organs as well? Didn't I just say that? 80%
meat,
organs. 20% organs and bones, 10% each, roughly.
There you go. There it is.
Yes, that's what I said.
They eat organs.
Yes, mostly liver, to be fair, because kidney stinks, and one of them doesn't like it unless I fry it, and then it stinks even more. I did get some, what did they call them? Goat organ bits or whatever. So it's like a mix of, I don't even know what's in there. It looks like
goatee giblets.
There could be some spleen and other shit. A little bit of, but I think they put heart in there, and I don't think heart is actually an organ as such. But anyhow,
heart's really just a muscle, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than it's an organ, because its only function
it's very rich, though.
Really is to contract.
The pups look like little Ewoks.
Yes. With their little brown coats on. Yep.
Yeah. Because I couldn't stand looking at them that hairy, so they get a haircut, and
even though it's still
really
cold. So they have to have a jumper instead.
Yes. Generally speaking, could a type 2 diabetic come off metformin if going carnivore? Yes.
Yes, it happens often.
Absolutely.
Yep. That's a common outcome. You go and twiddle the knobs. Here, good boy.
Anything wrong with eating 2 pounds of beef a day? I'm perfect weight and hike 5 miles a day when I make it out of bed after oxalate poisoning.
Well, there's your answer. It's not broken. Don't fix it.
Yes.
If your weight's stable and perfect weight, then there's nothing wrong with your intakes. It's pretty straightforward gauge, I would say. If anything changes, then have a look at what you're doing. In the meantime, though, carry on, soldier.
What's up with the questions today? We don't get that many questions. Where's everyone?
Where are you all? I don't know.
Question. Can you open the Cerule capsules and put them in water? I'm not good with swallowing any capsules.
No, that's against the rules. You're not allowed to do that. I'm kidding, of course. Yes, of course you can do that. Many people do that. It doesn't taste nice, I can promise you that.
You can mix it with your meat and you get green meat.
Yes. And if you're a
tasty.
dog, you end up with like a green beard after that.
This one eats the capsules, though.
Yeah.
The other one, not so much.
No. Yes, you can.
Why isn't living with multiple dogs on your top 5 list of optimal health?
It's
That
number
is a
6.
valid fucking question.
It's number 6.
What do you say, Snooze? Only eyebrows moving. What is the airspeed of an unladen swallow?
Well, are we talking African or European? Next question.
Can you talk about the tour?
Oh, yes, the tour. Coming up in November, the week ending on the 23rd on Saturday, myself, quite likely, maybe Ted might actually even be there too, in the flesh. Linda Hoggard, naturopath. The marvellous Wendy, who is our Cerule leader here in this marketplace of Australia and New Zealand. We're all going to tour around a bit.
The tour.
We're going to do Melbourne and we're going to do Adelaide, leading up to, that'll happen probably on the Thursday, I'm imagining, Thursday evening. And then on Saturday is the day-long event for the Carnivore Collective, where a bunch of speakers will be speaking, such as Anthony Chafee, Bella the Steak and Butter Girl, Dave Mack, some bald prick from New Zealand, and a bunch of others. Good stuff. The Carnivore Collective live in Adelaide on the 23rd of November, Saturday, I think it is. And the week before that, Melbourne and Adelaide meetings at least. And we're looking at Brisbane if enough. Sorry, and Sydney is happening too, I think. Yes, at this stage, but we're not sure about Brisbane yet. Maybe. Anyway, there's a tour. November. We'll be there. You should be there too. And we'll talk about Cerule and other stuff too.
Right, super chat.
Yeah.
I am in a carnivore diet for a year or so, and a significant portion of my food comes from beef. My ferritin is 260. Is this normal?
Okay. First of all, in terms of the normative values for any blood result, their value is exactly none, really, because all that is an indication of what the average person's value is, plus or minus a standard deviation. Who on earth wants to be average in terms of their health? I don't. Do you?
Oh.
I wish that I was normal, just the same as you.
I want to be freaky.
Should I dress myself up formal? No singing.
Sometimes you do.
I do, indeed, sometimes. That's right. No singing. Finish crisis. You can, if you're concerned about being overly ironed, you can give blood. I am a fan of allowing nature to take its course on this one because actually iron is stored quite safely in the body, heme iron. But if you've got an iron toxicity problem, it's almost certain that you're on one of those plant-based diets and you're getting a bunch of non-chelated ions coming in. Ions coming in, Fe, and those are toxic because they're not with the heme that makes them non-toxic. And I wouldn't worry about it at this stage at all. I'm assuming you don't have hemochromatosis or any of those kind of things. It doesn't look like it from those numbers. Thank you for the €20.
Tracy says, Pim, are you looking at all comments or not just top comments? I had a more serious question earlier. I haven't seen a serious question, so post it again, and I shall get it up.
There you go. You have permission to repost.
Yes, you have permission to repost, because I haven't seen a serious question from you, Tracy.
Right, okay.
Other than the tour.
Yes, and she's looking at the live feed rather than a selective feed.
Yes.
So sometimes our live feed is selective.
Yes, and sometimes the chat gets stuck, and then I might miss something when I'm fucking around. Super chat, dump it in food, new meaning to green eggs and ham. Yes.
We love our green eggs and ham.
And here comes the super chats. Now all of them pop up.
Super chats.
My friend has Epstein-Barr virus. Right. Can you provide any insight on whether the ketogenic diet, carnivore diet, or any other supplement like vitamin D, zinc, or vitamin A would help to put it or its symptoms into remission? Thank you.
Okay, I would suggest, the same as I suggest to everybody else, as a generalized kind of, this is a 5 health hacks approach to putting your body in the best position to look after itself, repair itself, renew itself, and have the right immune function doing the right thing. 5 of them there are. on that video, 5 health hacks. I do all of those things. Ketogenic diet is not on that list. It's a carnivore diet rather than a ketogenic one.
What about dry fasting?
Dry fasting may or may not be helpful in certain cases as a very valid tool, but that's not on my top 5. That would be a number 6 thing for me.
Oi, that's the dogs.
7, 6.5, 6A, whatever. I stopped counting at about 5 because it really takes care of 95% of things. But if someone that has a recalcitrant issue or an intractable issue with some kind of viral thing, then fasting might be helpful as well. Supplements, not necessary usually, of a nutritional kind. Nutritional supplements, not necessary. Absolutely nutraceuticals, like that one. That's on that list of 5 things, you see. There you go. That's it. And that's not medical advice.
It's bullshittery.
It's bullshittery, she says. You're here to help, are you?
Yes. Yes, I'm here to read and interpret.
You don't think that reducing a person's systemic chronic inflammatory overburden is useful for everyone?
I was just kidding.
Kidding.
I was just kidding.
You're just kidding. Yes, what's next?
3 months carnivore. When should I expect my crippling anxiety to completely go away? My anxiety has improved, but it's not completely gone. Advice.
It depends on many, many things as to where you've come from, where you're going to, your particular makeup, both genetically and personality-wise, and the environment in which you place those genes and that personality. How well you stick to the program, etc. I would suggest, however, though, again, using an average number, that it's 12, sometimes 18 months before someone actually feels human again, having reconverted their body back to their species-appropriate, specific lifestyle. It's not an overnight fix.
Also, if there is some previous nerve damage or something in the past, maybe you could benefit from increasing the fat intake for a while. See if that helps.
Maybe. All sorts of things you could try. N equals 1. Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out.
Yes. Oh!
Can you scroll me back?
Scroll me back.
Ow! It's not too hard. It's my knee. Another one. What is your opinion of the suggestion floating around that you shouldn't drink water with your meals? Something about diluting your stomach acid. Oh, my mum used to say that.
Yeah, Dave. Yes, that one's not a new one. That one's been floating around on and off for years and years and decades and decades. Here's the thing. Your stomach acidity is tightly regulated by your homeostatic process. If you drink a bunch of water at the time where your stomach needs more acidity, it will redress the acidity of the extra fluid in the form of the water. Both by pumping in more ions and probably by expelling some water as well.
How quick is that process, though?
Oh, it's within a minute that your body can completely readjust the pH. So long as you have the right things on hand, like chloride ions.
I never really drink with food. Unless I get thirsty from the food. If it's dry food, I don't like dry food. Fuck.
And that can do it too, can't it?
It's usually after, but...
Now, Dave, have you got this deck squared away? Are these maggots in line? Are they in uniform? Do I have to send Ted down there?
Maggots.
Yes. Get these maggots in line, Ted.
Oh,
goodness sake.
Needy dog. You're needy.
Yes. And this deck could do with some swabbing. Right, what's next?
I don't know. I'm blowing air in the dog ear.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Some people claim they don't sunburn on the carnivore diet. What is happening in the body to enable this? Thanks.
Okay, the theory is around there being less polyunsaturated fatty acids included into the membranes of the skin cells. Because polyunsaturates embedded in the membrane of skin cells makes them less functional, less able to be dealing with the universe at large. And they believe that gives them a benefit in terms of being less burnable. Yes, that would be correct. I would suggest that it seems to me anecdotally that carnivore people do tend to be more able to deal with the sun. However, to say I can't burn, I think is a step too far. You can burn. Come down here to New Zealand. I'll show you how it's done within an hour. in the middle of summer, in the middle of the day, I can show you how it's done within 14 minutes.
To get burnt?
Yes, in the sun.
Not me. You do. I have built-in
Your mileage will
sun
vary.
reflection.
Yeah, good.
Which is kind of funny. Because he gets all red and then all brown, and I go reflect.
Reflect. Is that like genuflect?
I don't know. It's funny. Hang on. I think we have a super chat.
Super chats. The thing is jumping everywhere. It'll come up on that screen when it's ready to.
Well, maybe we don't have it.
Maybe we don't. Now you're on the wrong screen altogether.
Yeah, I wanted to see if that one had one.
So many screens.
Okay, so
in
that case,
everywhere.
I shall find my way back.
Finding my way back to you. Questions. Not silly.
There. Does the body convert all carbohydrates to glucose?
No, not all of them. Just the ones that it doesn't need to use for oxidative process right now.
Can you give Cerule to dogs also?
Yes, you can, and we do.
She's like, yes, please, give me one.
Yep.
Daddy, give me one.
Oh, I'll leave that one right alone.
She said.
Right. But you just said it, and I have it on recording.
It wasn't me.
Yes, I'm going to use that. I'm going to have to cut that out and use that audio.
Jesus.
Yes.
Question. I feel tapering off meds isn't taught but is essential in clinical practice like mine where I use carnivore therapeutically. Any opinion on tapering off meds principles? I do it very slow always.
Yes, I think that's absolutely indicated personally. It's the same thing as changing your diet overnight. You shouldn't do that. Or suddenly going from no exercise to running 3 marathons a week, which you're not going to be able to do anyway because you're just going to die trying to do that. Yes, I believe tapering off meds slowly is, and it gives your body a chance to regain control of itself without subjecting it to yet another crisis situation.
Yes. What do you think of hair tissue mineral analysis as compared to blood work? HTMA will show depletion and blood work does not.
That's an argument that you can use, and sure, it's fine. However, how would you define depletion? Once again, are you comparing a person's results to the standard normative values? And if so, is that anything to be aspired to? Probably not. I'm much more interested in a person's presentation, i.e. their signs and symptoms. What signs and symptoms of pathology is the person exhibiting?
Right, I think that...
And if there are any, then I might start looking at the history.
Fuck.
But if there are no signs and symptoms of pathology, I'm going to stop looking for it right about then. Aren't I? So yes.
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
Whatever.
See?
Whatever.
Oh,
God.
Whatever, ever.
I can sit without dog now. Should water fast be kept to under 7 days?
I personally would, and I personally have done. It's the longest I've ever fasted on a wet fast is 7 days.
Me too.
Depends, of course. Individually, there are reasons why a person might go longer than that. I remember I interviewed a bloke way back when called Big John. Well, he was called Big John. He's probably just called John now. He was 500 pounds when he started, and he didn't eat anything at all for over a year. And he ended up 200 pounds after that.
Yes. Hiccups.
And he was fine. Still with us, still alive, as far as I know. Yeah.
Right. Do anti-nutrients from vegetables stay in the body for a certain period of time?
Yes, they do. They accumulate, a lot of them. Some of them are nasty. If we mean anti-nutrients and toxins, outright toxins, like oxalate, that sticks around for decades. Decades. Polyunsaturated fatty acids of a vegetable nature are highly deuterated and cause problems. And if they become inveigled in cell membranes, as we've described earlier, that can be problematic.
That's not a cue, Tracy. I see the question mark, but if I missed your question, it's your own fault.
Yes.
Thoughts on the Twinrex Hep AB quaxine risk versus benefits. I am not partaking, but need a valid argument against for a volunteer role.
Okay, the only argument that you need is this one. It's my body, it's my choice. I choose not to. That is my human right. I don't have to explain myself to you.
If you don't like it, get fucked in.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
If they will accept such a thing.
Yeah.
Right, so, Super Chat. Is
Yes.
carnivore the panacea of everything body-related?
Oh, yes. Why not?
I don't know.
Mm.
Do you guys eat much chicken?
Some. We had some last night.
Well, we eat maybe once a month if you're lucky.
Yeah. It's not
So
big
not very
on
often.
our... Yeah, we are mostly beef people. And then we have some lamb and some pork, even less chicken and even less seafood than that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's
Don't eat
beef
that.
and beef and
We
beef
really
and
don't
beef.
eat that much pork either.
No.
Only when I score a big Boston butt and make lots of pulled pork.
Mm. And that's the only time any pork gets pulled around here.
Is it?
Mm.
Bullshit.
It's not bullshit. I wish it was. You lying motherfucker.
Is being a Cerule customer for 3 to 6 months, then IBO after some personal testimony. But did we have this one?
No, it's a different...
Be the best strategy, or just dive in head first into the shallow in?
Dive in head first, become an IBO and start promoting this stuff right now. In fact, do it yesterday. It is what it says it is. It does what it says it does. It is associated with incredible stories of health improvement for pretty much everyone that takes it for 6 months or more. You do not need to make that investment. You can trust me, I'm the science. Safe and
Good.
effective I am.
Mm.
Yeah.
While stopping my coffee and cream lower triglycerides, mine went up instead of down on mostly carnivore and OMAD most of the days.
Depends on a whole bunch of other covariates, confounders, collinearities, and things that can affect your triglyceride levels. To make a prediction about what will happen in any one given individual is a difficult task, and it requires an hour-long discussion to even start guessing. That's a consultancy question.
Mm-hmm.
The address is underneath the video in the show notes. See you soon.
See you soon.
Mm.
Right. What is the influence of mushrooms? Not necessarily psilocybis, but as well on Randle cycle.
Yeah.
They are neither plants, neither meat, and by far older than those two groups.
They also contain no significant amount of either fats or carbohydrates, and as such I would expect that they affect the Randle cycle. Not at all.
Yes.
Not at all. They're mostly fibre and yuckiness.
No.
Yes.
Mm.
Fungus is fucking disgusting. What's wrong with you?
So is your fucking coffee disgusting?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you?
Many things.
I know.
And
Tell
Her
me about
Majesty
it.
Pim, Queen of Pirates, is always telling me about it, so I hardly need to tell her about it. She's telling me about how...
Am I?
Yes.
So what is wrong? What do I say is wrong with you?
Many things.
Such as?
You drink too much, you're smelly, you're too noisy,
Yeah,
you
do
move
smell.
too much in bed. Further back, I can still see you and hear you. For fuck's sake, etc. Yeah, that's about
For
how it
fuck's
goes.
sake.
That's about how it goes. Yeah.
Well, I need to kick you when you're snoring and waking me up.
Funnily
Either.
enough, she's never said to me, you know what? You're not earning enough money. Actually, she has said that in the past. Now it's just enough.
Oh my god.
But we want more. Of course we want more. So send us all your money, bigots.
I don't think I have said that, but
Mm.
anyhow. Right, what do we need to do to get Cerule products for free? Thanks, Commander.
What you need to do is join as an IBO member, which is an independent business owner or an advocate for the products, if you like, or a distribution. If you, it's you are becoming part of the organisation on the same footing that I am, and that Pim is, and that a whole bunch of other people also are. In that you have the right to purchase product in for yourself, and also to give people the opportunity to either buy products retail for themselves or to also become members of the organisation should they so choose. What you do to get products for free is you would get yourself onto a wellness pack of 3, 4 or 6 products per month, and you would sell retail, personally, 3 people the same pack. which can be made up with different products, but the same size pack, or indeed the equivalent number of individual bottles and different numbers of packs for 3, 4s, and 6s. It works on points, but basically it's 3 and free. So you sell 3 of something and you get that same thing for free, pretty much.
Very clever.
Yes.
What is your opinion on vitamin D supplementation? Better daily or bigger weekly dose? How important is taking it with vitamin K?
I don't suggest that supplementation of vitamin C is usually necessary, nor indicated, nor a good idea. What did I say?
C.
Did I? I meant D. Vitamin D. I don't suggest that you should take it. And I don't suggest it's necessary. And its interaction with K vitamins should be taken care of if you're eating an appropriate diet containing all the things that you need that normally have vitamin K in them. Animal products, mostly. But also Cerule contains some vitamin K too. Just serendipitously it's in there. Yeah.
Okay. Subject.
Yay.
Is fasting ever necessary on carnivore?
Necessary is too strong a word. It's never necessary. Sometimes it's indicated as a potential tool to get somebody from where they are to where they want to be. Personally, that's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
If one follows carnivore and works out 4 or 5 times per week, what should that person expect in terms of body composition and metabolism if they stop workout for 5 weeks while maintaining their diet?
Well, that's very much N equals 1 in terms of where someone's at. There might be a big difference, so there might be nothing noticeable.
Very little for 5 weeks.
And it depends on what kind of training we're talking about as well. Yeah.
Can you advise how to warm up for high-intensity training for someone who's used to steady-state cardio, please?
Yes. You do 5 minutes of steady state, moderate intensity, something to warm your muscles up, get a bit of a sweat on, whatever. If you are an advocate for stretching, you can do some of that if you want to. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea. Depends case by case on all sorts of things. Your mileage may vary and all of that. And then you would do one set of whatever you're doing at 75. And then you're good to go at 100, pretty much. That would be my approach.
If you were to include vegetables that are significantly vegetables, which ones would they be? And is there a way to remove or reduce their anti-nutrients significantly?
Well, the question is redundant and a bit self-centered, really. If you were to include vegetables, why would you do that? I do occasionally. Pim does occasionally because we're human beings and we enjoy certain sorts of vegetables now and then.
I made a huge bowl of coleslaw this morning, and I'm going to fucking eat it.
Well, you go too. I'm not, personally, but that's cool.
I had a need for coleslaw.
Which ones would it be, and is there a way to remove or reduce the anti-nutrients? Depends on particularly what vegetable you're talking about as to how to minimise its impact. I guess they're all very different preparation methods for different things.
Yes. I was like, oh, are we going to answer that? There are things like some of them you can get rid of with boiling them. You can be sprouting things if you are using like seeds or whatever.
So, some things you just skin them. That's the trick.
Yeah. So many ways, depending on what they are. But it's hard to get rid of things like oxalates, for example.
They stick around.
They hang around. All right.
Ew.
I have essential tremors and on propranolol. Will the carnivore diet help? Only been carnivore almost lion, just BBBE.
It may not by itself. Your mileage will vary. No one can look into a crystal ball and say what your body will do. Indications are that at large, on average, a given person can expect some amelioration of their situation, I would think. Just on that one thing alone, being a carnivore. There are 5 things I think you should do, by the way. I think you should go and do all 5. Don't forget, if you want to help Nin get to where she needs to be in the Cerule thing this month, I'm sure she'll do it by herself without our help, but let's help her anyway. her address for Cerule getting involved and stuff is underneath this video in the show notes. As is Pim's, if you want to help her. That'd be cool too. Mine's there as well, Whatever. Whatever.
Question, how does Cyactive quell inflammation?
Cyactive is a blue pigment derived from a cyanobacter, which is treated and prepared in such a way as to activate it and make it safe for consumption, i.e. clean it up. And what it does is it knocks down the activity of both LOX and COX inflammatory pathways by interfering with an enzyme at an early stage of that cascade in such a way as to tone that right down. Good to see you, by the way, Skunk Masters.
LOX and COX.
Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while.
Has he been to the camouflage training?
He has been to the camouflage training, or perhaps he's been busy de-skunkerizing people's houses when they get skunkerized, or their dogs.
Yuck.
Skunk Masters has a good line in cleaning up someone's dog that's been skunked.
Poor dog.
Yeah, I know. Poor Skunk Masters.
Well, the dog might think it's yummy and shit.
It's a secret proprietary methodology he uses.
Good stuff.
So, there you go.
But we don't have any skunks here.
We don't have skunks in this country, so...
So you can't move here. You're going to be out of the way.
Well, you can, but you won't be the Skunk Master then.
What master should he be then?
He could be the Cerule Master. No, that's me in New Zealand,
I
isn't
was
it?
wondering if the Swallow Master would be the thing.
The Swallow Master. He could be the determinant of how many beats per minute.
He could be.
And what the fully laden weight is of given swallows.
Yes.
Or perhaps you could just come here and say, nee.
Who would pay for that?
Well, everybody needs someone standing around saying, nee.
Okay. Okay. It's decided you can now move to New Zealand.
That's it.
Yes. Next one. If muscular growth is driven by intensity and not volume, why do you recommend 2 sets instead of 1 to failure?
Because the research shows that I've seen and understood that you get 95% of the benefit from 3 sets as you would get from 2, and 95% of what you would get of 4 sets you get from 3 sets. So it's like one of those lines that's very, very flat by that stage. There's no point doing the volume above that. You just need to hit your muscle with the stimulus that will cause it to grow. That's why. You can do 1 set if you like and get most of the benefit too. But not 95%. It's less than that for 1 set. I can't remember what the exact number was.
No. Right.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on chronometer?
It's absolute rubbish. It's a waste of time, and it's based on a fundamental misunderstanding of absolutely everything in the universe, including the universe itself, basic physics, basic anything. It's not a tool of utility, I would suggest, for anybody at any time. It's worthless. What a waste of time.
You just blew my mind on the no vitamin D.
Well, eat a species-appropriate diet and get in the sunshine during the summer in a sensible way.
What if you live in Iceland?
Well, then move, for goodness sake. What are you doing there? Yes.
Good answer.
Yes.
But don't live anywhere where you don't have any sun.
That's it.
Can you please review Sport Beth's video, Carnivore, the most toxic diet in fitness?
Possibly. Depends. I'd have to look at it and see whether it's worth doing for my algorithm purposes, channel purposes, whatever else. It's not just which video would be most entertaining that I have to consider. It's also which one is likely to get the most views, because that's the name of the game here. I'll look at it, though, when I can.
I see.
Yes.
Smack the like tap, people, and or whatever you may identify as.
Hey, Dean.
Lego trains and
That's it.
pine trees.
How's it, bro?
How's it, bro?
Bro, you're beached. You're beached as, bro.
Right. Why would you include something other than meat? Because the EU planning on culling meat production by 70% by 2030 to something like 65 grams of meat per day per person, and not stop there.
Well, what I would suggest is get yourself self-sufficient. Get some land if you can somewhere, put some cows on it, or some sheep, or both. Maybe get some ducks. We're going to get some ducks, aren't we?
Hopefully. Just need space and pond space for
pond space for ducks.
Or stream space or whatever's
Yep. Look, at the end of the day, I think people should set themselves up to be able to be self-sufficient.
Well,
Modern society is coming to an end.
How would it look if everyone tried to do that? There wouldn't be enough land.
Get yourself
for people
involved
to do
in a
it.
co-op.
Yep.
Of some kind, maybe.
Yeah. Come and share our sheeps. We can share with you when we get the land and the sheep.
Whenever that's...
We don't have any of those right now.
Send us all your money, go fund us so that we can set ourselves up as self-sufficient, and then we'll actually secede from this country and become a sovereign territory on our own right. And then we can invite you all to become citizens of our sovereign nation. Bring a duck.
And bring a duck. Question. I'm looking to start university for kinesiology, nutrition. How do you recommend a student navigate that world without being indoctrinated and learning a bunch of pseudoscience?
You can't, sorry.
You have to learn the pseudoscience, answer the stupid question pretending that you believe that, and then have a different opinion. That's what I did.
Me too. Yeah, you do you, basically, and take everything they tell you with a grain of salt and learn how to think as a scientist. The best way to do that is to watch my Fine channel on repeat, constantly, all the time, every moment of the day. Watch my channel. And when you've done that, go and buy all the merchandise and products and send me all your money. I have some Kool-Aid too. Trust me, I'm the science, safe and effective.
I was a carnivore plus a black coffee drinker since 2021. Had horrible IBD, got rid of coffee at start of 2024. No more IBD symptoms. Do you see this often with your clients? Coffee equals gut problems.
Yeah, it can, absolutely. Yep. Especially in black coffee drinkers, as opposed to white coffee drinkers. I'm talking about the
fucking
colour.
Racist.
I'm talking about the colour of the coffee, all right? Right.
Let's get Bart to 50,000 subscribers and beyond.
Yeah,
Tell all your friends about this channel.
Currently it says 49.6. K is what it says right now. 49.
So very, very close.
It is close. So, bring a friend. Drag them along, kicking and screaming.
Which animal-based food has enough of a source of magnesium from which you can get your daily percentage recommended?
Well, again, those two are different figures. The amount you actually need and the amount that is recommended for a person are two completely different numbers. Where do you get all the magnesium you need? Mostly from meat. Meat contains...
You can eat bones.
An amount of magnesium, and it's an amount that is sufficient. If you do everything else right. If you do it wrong, though, all bets are off. If you do it wrong, we'll say you never really were a carnivore, and we'll point and name and shame you and ask for your card back and stuff. So don't do it wrong.
Very good.
How do you do it right? By watching my channel and repeat all the time.
Oh, poor ears. Does bacteria from fermented foods survive the digestion and get to the large intestine?
Yes, some of them do. Not all of them, but some of them do. Enough.
Yes. Or you can eat with your ass.
Yes.
Like some people.
Or you can just eat food, some of which will then ferment if it's plant-based, if you're looking for that.
Says Mr. Kefir.
Kefir is another form of fermentation of a food, but that's not a plant-based one, of course, and there's no attendant fibre with that, which is good. I have found the kefir thing to have been beneficial over the last few weeks that I've been...
So in what way has it been beneficial? What have you seen?
Improvements in gut function, the level of bloatation around the dad bod that is plus or minus at any given stage, depending on how adherent across time I've been in the 3 months or 4 months prior to that. And I've been pretty unadherent.
And you have less bloating, you say?
Yeah, I do, I think.
Interesting.
I think I look a lot. And I'm also 10 pounds, 5-ish kilograms off. And I haven't changed anything else.
Nice.
How will I celebrate 50Ks? Sorry, that's your job.
Yes.
I mustn't read the questions or...
If they're on that screen, you can.
Right.
So how will you celebrate 50k subs?
I think Ted will have a knees up. Absolutely. There'll be quite some bash, I imagine. Won't there, Ted? Ted? He's busy twiddling the knobs. Good boy. I think probably next week. We'll have a 50k special next week's show because I think we'll be over by then.
Do you have any party hats?
I have many hats and costumes and things that we could.
But not party ones.
Well, we could get some party hats.
You should have those cone ones and boop boop.
Yes. Yeah. Good.
Here's a hard question to answer. How long has Pim and Bart been together?
Well, that depends on who you believe. So you're telling the story, so you tell the story.
How many years ago did we meet then?
Well, we first met in...
Was it
14?
end of 2013, December? The
Okay.
very first time, I think.
December...
Is that the right year?
Okay, yeah. Well, that will be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say about 10 years then.
Yeah.
That's a fucking long time. Jesus. I have to get out of here. Help. Help. Fuck.
Tell us how you really feel. Don't hold back.
It's a bloody chat.
We didn't want any advertising revenue anyway. Not that we get much on this channel. Do you know how poor the pay is to do YouTube videos, by the way, boys and girls?
No one can... Well, you can live on there if you have...
If you have million subs, you might be able to.
Lots of subs.
Yeah.
Let's start that Bart and Pim. Let's start a community started as ASAP. Let's get a community started ASAP.
Well, the way to do that is to go fund us. Send us all your money so that we can buy a piece of land.
All your money.
Huge trucks of land is what we need.
They can't buy their own land if they send us all their money.
And then Pim can say, you walk down to the back of the property so that you can sing down there.
Shut up.
No singing.
And I'm missing something, but are you guys living together? Same bed?
Goodness, that's a bit personal.
Well, yes.
Everybody knows I'm with Ted. Surely.
Is that true, Ted? Oh, Jesus. That's horrendous.
It is. He's the butch.
There's a butch.
I'm the bitch, apparently.
Fucking
I just do as I'm told, don't I, Ted?
And what do you think of sauerkraut?
Yes, we sleep in the same bed.
I thought you were going to say, yes, we sleep in sauerkraut.
Well, that's for another day. Goodness sake, the show has devolved completely. It's absolutely fallen to bits today, hasn't it?
Blink if you need help.
Call the police. Ted's blinking, see?
No, he's just retarded.
Listen to this nonsense. Sauerkraut is one of those things that's plus or minus. If it works for you, don't fix it.
You like it, though.
I'm not averse to it. I think it tastes fine.
I don't like the taste.
I don't think it's a huge thing. It's not something I think is necessary. It's fine.
I have kimchi, which is very similar, but more tasty.
Do you want to go out? Is that what the problem
Clearly
is?
she does.
Yeah. Okay, should we let you out?
She's been waiting forever.
Well, then you want to come back in. Good girl. Yep, straight out the door. Off you go. Yes, off you go.
Right, someone has cervical spondylosis and lumbar spondylosis. What can help lower the pain?
Well, I know of one case of this, which has been quite miraculous, in fact, in terms of the results. If you want to hear that story, you would go and see a video on my fine YouTube channel called Bart's Mom is in the House. And also, if you're just fascinated as to who is this woman that gave birth to me and why has she not been sainted?
Yeah, she should be.
Jesus. Or perhaps she should be charged with an offence against humanity.
Or that.
That too. Maybe. Anyway, she was on my channel a while back telling her story about spondylitis and how we fixed it up. Incredible.
Go, Mum.
Yeah, she does. She goes. She just goes. Yeah.
We have rural development home loans through the USDA here. That's nice.
That's good. We can't get that because we're not in the US.
No.
Yeah. And I thought the only way to get any land in the US is to buy it off Bill because he's bought the bloody lot, apparently.
Yeah.
Good old Bill.
Right, last question. Considering how small light they are, can one piece of garlic be any bad regarding oxalates or lectins or so?
One piece by itself on one occasion? Probably not.
Nah.
No. Nothing you do on any one day, unless it's drink cyanide, is probably going to affect you much that day.
Yes. Yeah. So that was that.
Yeah. Is that all the questions?
Yeah.
Are we done?
We're done, and we're
5 minutes early. Excellent. Well,
if you have a cut off at 90 minutes.
Well, I really don't. We tend to kind of keep it that way because that's how it is. You may put on the headphones if you like. Because
Maybe I shall.
you know what's left? You know what's left in the show? It goes a bit like this. It's that thing about what you should have in the mornings if you're going to eat something.
Mm-hmm.
Steak and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for your breakfast. Delicious. Eggs and steak and eggs. Just making sure you heard. She didn't because she's got the headphones on. Anyway, join us next time when something else will happen.